So let's take a look at tube mobility. We, in many cases, we will angle the tube in order to image given anatomy. And so if I take and angle the tube right here, this is going to angle from the foot of the bed to the table to the head of the table. It's along the longitudinal axis. Now these tubes, they do not pitch. To pitch, it would angle along the short axis of the table. So these ones don't do this. And then we have rotate. Rotate, we take and move the tube out from being over the top of the table. You would do this, get everything ready for a patient, do this, and then once the patient is in place, you could bring the tube right back over. So if you look here, it shows you the degrees of angling. If I go towards the cephalic angle, and this is with the patient laying on their back with their head to the left. So this is cephalic angle right here, and you can see we're at 24 degrees. If we go to the caudal end, we get a negative readout of 35 degrees, negative 35 degrees right there. So let's take a look at the collimator. The collimator is used to limit the size of the X-ray beam. And we'll zoom in here. We have these knobs. These knobs are how you're going to adjust the light field. You'll notice it says 40, 45, 60, 72. That is all in inches. And then if we go to the 40-inch SID right here, you'll see the numbers around here, and that is in inches for the width of your X-ray beam. And then same thing on this side, this is for the length. The collimator light switch is right here. You can turn it on. It will turn off automatically after a period of time, or you can turn it off manually. You'll see that we have a tape measure. Oops, the one's not here. Here you are looking from the table perspective, looking up into the collimator, and you can see how the lead shutters, how they move in and out. So let's talk about the tube suspension system. We have three different types of suspension systems. Number one would be a floor-mounted model, and the table or the tube can just move along the long axis of the table, and you don't have any lateral mobility. The second is a floor ceiling mount, and that's going to be two rails that run just like the floor rails. And then we have the ceiling suspension system. This is the most expensive system, but the most versatile because you can move the tube anywhere in the room that you would like. So this is a light meter that you're going to be using for one of the projects in the lab this week. You want to take and turn it on, and you can see it says auto 200 down here. We need that to be up to 300, so I push this button, the hold button, once, twice, and now it says 2000 down there, and that's how we want to take our readings. To measure the light in the room, you take off the cap, and this is your sensor here. And you can see that we are at 119 lux at this point. When you place the light meter in the collimated field, you want to make sure that the light meter itself, or the sensor itself, is not we don't want the crosshairs on it. So you notice it's completely open there. I take raise this, watch what happens to the values. Okay, we're at 260 or 256 lux. I come down lower, and now I'm at 507 lux. And this is due to divergence of the beam, and with the short distance, the short SID, we're going to have a higher quantity of photons per unit area squared. So the intensity of the beam is greater.